I don't know why I'm failing at life. That is the third time I've said that, so we're gonna go with it.
Hi, says the girl with the right eyes that pairs pretty well when she hits you with the soft smile.
Hi friends. Welcome to part 2 of the books that I'm excited for in 2021. This one is the non-LGBT plus books. I figured that I would put them in between my two queer videos to vary things up, yada yada. If you didn't catch the last video where I talk about the sapphic books ending specifically in woman loving woman relationships that I'm excited for coming out in 2021, I will leave a link to that video down below. It'll also be linked up in the top probably, knowing me. I also need to mention that a lot of these books I found through Bookbird's blog, which lists by month the different YA books that are coming out. Fantastic resource. I will be linking that below. Along with that, I will be linking the Goodreads page to every book that I mention. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. You already know how this goes. Like the last time, the first book that I mentioned is the one that I am most excited about, and for the non-LGBT centric books, that is Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas. Oh my god. How excited am I about this book? So excited. Let's go ahead. So the synopsis is, life's not perfect, but with a fly girlfriend and a cousin who always has his back, Mav's got everything under control. Until that is, Maverick finds out he's a father. Suddenly he has a baby, 7, who depends on him for everything. But it's not so easy to sling dope, finish school, and raise a child. So when he's offered the chance to go straight, he takes it. In a world where he's expected to amount to nothing, maybe Mav can prove he's different. When King Lord blood runs through your veins, though, you can't just walk away. Loyalty, revenge, and responsibility threatens to tear Mav apart, especially after the brutal murder of a loved one. He'll have to figure out for himself what it really means to be a man. Releasing January 12th. A prequel to The Hate U Give about her dad, who is my favorite character. I didn't know this was coming out because I'm an idiot, because I'm dumb, because for some reason I don't follow Angie Thomas on Twitter, which I changed that today very quickly. I didn't know this was coming out, and so when I went onto freaking Bookbird's blog and I went to January and this was one of the first books listed, I fucking screamed. I love The Hate U Give. It's one of my favorite books of all time. I absolutely adore it. And the family in that book was my favorite part. I really, really enjoy the family dynamic. And Star's dad was my favorite character of that book. I absolutely adored him. And so the fact that this is a book that is telling his past, which was one of the more interesting things, like you find out a little bit about it in The Hate U Give, like you get glimpses of it, but not like nitty gritty, because it's not his story, it's Star's story. The fact that this book is coming out has got me so happy. I'm so excited. I literally, if I had the money right now, I would have pre-ordered it today, but I am poor and it is almost Christmas and I have bought almost 0 presents, so I couldn't. So I'm so excited to have this come out. I'm so excited. Up next is Every Single Lie by Rachel Vincent. Nobody in Beckett's life seems to be telling the whole story. Her boyfriend Jake keeps hiding texts and might be cheating on her. Her father lied about losing his job before his shocking death, and everyone in school seems to be whispering about her and her family behind her back. But none of that compares to the day Beckett finds the body of a newborn baby in a gym bag, Jake's gym bag, on the floor of her high school locker room. As word leaks out, rumors that Beckett's mother take off like wildfire in a town all too ready to believe the worst of her. And as the police investigation unfolds, she discovers that everyone has a secret to hide, and the truth could alter everything she thought she knew. That also comes out January 12th. This book surprised me. I had not heard of it until today when I was doing research, but the concept has me interested because, and I'm not gonna lie, what has me interested in is how her mother can connect to her finding the body of a newborn baby in her boyfriend's bag. And it's just like, I need to know where this connection comes from. I need to know why this is the catalyst to everything falling apart for her. Just the synopsis is so good, and I need to know what happens. If it's authors who do synopsises, man, did Rachel Vincent kick it out of the park, because I'm so interested in this book. I cannot wait to find out what happens. Up next, The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson, which is the 4th book in the Truly Devious series. As you guys know, I absolutely adore the Truly Devious series. It's one of my faves. And when I found out that there was a 4th book coming out, I was so excited. And just kind of like really interesting to see how Stevie's gonna do with something that is not, you know, the Ellingham mystery. Figuring it all out, the truth behind Truly Devious and what exactly happened in the Ellingham affair has granted Stevie a bit of a celebrity status in the true crime community. So she's not surprised when she gets an email from the man who owns Camp Bounty Lake, now called Camp Wonderfalls, the site of the infamous Box in the Woods murders from the 1970s. Weird things are happening at the camp again, although nothing as sinister as before. No murders, no bodies posed by the mysterious figure they call the doll collector. But there is a threatening message chalked across the wall, and a box has appeared with 3 grisly dolls inside it. Stevie accepts a job as a camp counselor so she can figure out what's going on. She recruits her friends from Ellingham, Nate, Janelle, and Vi, to become counselors too. Not long after they arrive, the owner of the camp dies in a suspicious hiking accident. This coming out June 15th. I see where you're going with this. You go from the Ellingham, like, school. So the entire series is focused on the school and the mystery that happens at the school, which is very much kind of like a murder mystery type setting, is the school. Immediately going into a camp. So, like, we're talking Cabin in the Wood. We're talking, what's the one with fucking that one movie? I don't watch horror movies, first of all. But just like camp murder mysteries, say no more. I'm invested. I'm involved. I'm ready. Let's go. I was gonna read the 4th Truly Devious series, no matter what they threw at it. No matter what, I would have read it. But this just makes me so excited, and I'm here for it. Number 4, Amelia Unabridged by Ashley Shoemaker. 18-year-old Amelia Griffin is obsessed with the famous Ormond Chronicles, written by the young and reclusive prodigy N.E. Ensley. They're the books that brought her and her best friend Jenna together after Amelia's father left and her family imploded. So when Amelia and Jenna get the opportunity to attend a book festival with Ensley in attendance, Amelia is ecstatic. It's the perfect way to start off their last summer before college. In a heartbeat, everything goes horribly wrong. When Jenna gets the chance to meet the author and Amelia doesn't, the two have a blowout fight like they've never experienced. And before Amelia has a chance to mend things, Jenna is killed in a freak car accident. Grief-stricken and without her best friend to guide her, Amelia questions everything she had planned for the future. When a mysterious rare edition of the Ormond Chronicles arrives, Amelia is convinced that it somehow came from Jenna. Tracking the book to an obscure but enchanting bookstore in Michigan, Amelia is shocked to find herself face to face with the handsome N.E. Ensley himself. The reason for Amelia and Jenna's fight, and perhaps the clue to what Jenna wanted to tell her all along. This comes out on February 19th. I can't be for sure, because nothing in the synopsis makes it seem like it is magical realism, but something about this, maybe it's the cover, maybe it's the way that the wording like hit me in my brain, seems like magical realism, which is my favorite genre of all time. Once again, it's a book about grief. For some reason, I really enjoy contemporary books about grief. They always hit different. Just a book series that the two are really interested in, possible magical realism with the author of the book, and the cover makes it look like there's gonna be a cute romance. I'm so interested in seeing exactly what this book is about, because a lot of it seems like a mystery. and I'm ready to explore that mystery. Blood Like Magic by Liesl Sambury. After years of waiting for her calling, a trial every witch must pass in order to come into their powers, the one thing Voya Thomas didn't expect was to fail. When Voya's ancestors give her an unprecedented second chance to complete her calling, she agrees, and then is horrified when her task is to kill her first love. And this time, failure means every Thomas witch will be stripped of their magic. Voya is determined to save her family's magic no matter the cost. The problem is she has never been in love, so for her to succeed, she'll have to first find the perfect guy, and fast. Fortunately, a genetic matchmaking program has just hit the market. Her plan is to join the program, fall in love, and complete her task before the deadline. What she doesn't count on is being paired with the infuriating Luke. How can she fall in love with a guy who seemingly wants nothing to do with her? With mounting pressures from her family, Voya is caught between her morality and her duty to her bloodline. If she wants to save their heritage and Luke, she'll have to find something her ancestors want more than blood, and in witchcraft, blood is everything. And that comes out on June 15th, and it sounds so fun. Love stories about witches, but also just kind of like being told, hey, you have to kill the person you love, but them having never fallen in love, so they're falling in love specifically to kill that person. So interesting, so fun, so fresh, so fun. Love to see it. Also, it seems like there's going to be like some light sci-fi when it comes with the matchmaking program. That is also super duper fun. I love that concept and things. And also it seems to kind of like be like an enemies to lovers type situation. There's just a whole bunch of things that are hitting the right boxes, and I really want to read this book. Up next is Like Home by Louisa Onome. Janilo, or Nilo as her best friend Kate calls her, is all about her neighborhood Ginger East. She loves its chill vibe, ride or die sense of community, and her memories of growing up there. Ginger East isn't what it used to be though. After a deadly incident at the local arcade, all her closest friends moved away, except for Kate. But as long as they have each other, Nilo's good. Only Kate's parents' corner store gets vandalized, leaving Nilo shaken to her core. The police and the media are quick to point fingers, and soon more of the outside world descends on Ginger East with promises to fix it. Suddenly, Nilo finds herself in the middle of drama unfolding on a national scale. Worse yet, Kate is acting strange. She's pushing Nilo away at the exact moment they need each other most. Nilo's entire world is morphing into something she hates, and she must figure out how to get things back on track or risk losing everything and everyone she loves. And that comes out February 23rd. I'm not gonna lie, this book interested me because they said it was for fans of Elizabeth Acevedo, who, as some of you may know, is my favorite author. I have never given any book of hers less than 5 stars. And it also said it kind of has the same vibe as In the Heights, which is my preferred Lin-Manuel Miranda musical. I enjoy books where it's like about a kind of like about a community, and you learn a lot about that community and how it like runs and how it's knit together. I just like about neighborhoods and like this little world that you kind of like grow to see through the book. I think it's going to be really interesting, kind of the feeling of, you know, people saying, oh, your community sucks and we have to fix you, and also being like, but I love this community, it doesn't need to be fixed, things like that. I'm really interested in reading this book. That's all I can say. Off the Record by Cameron Garrett. Ever since 17-year-old Josie Wright can remember, writing has been her identity, the thing that grounds her when everything else is a garbage fire. So when she wins a contest to write a celebrity profile for Deep Focus magazine, she's equal parts excited and scared, but also ready. She's got this. Soon, Josie is jetting off on a multi-city tour, rubbing elbows with sparkling celebrities, frantic handlers, stone-faced producers, and eccentric stylists. She even finds herself catching feelings for the subject of her profile. Josie's world is expanding so rapidly, she doesn't know whether she's flying or falling. But when a young actress lets her in on a terrible secret, the answer is clear. She's in over her head. One woman's account leads to another and another. Josie wants to expose the man responsible, but she's reluctant to speak up, unsure if this is her story to tell. What if she lets down the women who have entrusted her with their stories? What if this ends her writing career before it even begins? There are so many reasons not to go ahead, but if Josie doesn't step up, who will? This book comes out May 18th. Like I said, I enjoy contemporaries that are about hard subjects, so things like grief, things like different social issues. This is talking about like the Me Too movement and how kind of like men in power can get away with things, but once one woman comes out, other women will come out, things like that. And it all falls around a teenager, and she has to kind of like figure out if she's willing to kind of go through, if she's the one that should be telling this story, if this will ruin her career, things like that. And that's a very interesting conversation to have. Also, damn, does that cover look fucking gorgeous? I'm really, really excited. I think this is gonna end up being a story that fucking destroys my heart. I can just tell. Luck of the Titanic by Stacey Lee. 17-year-old British-Chinese Valora Luck has quit her job and smuggled herself aboard the Titanic with two goals in mind: to reunite with her twin brother Jamie, her only family now that both their parents are dead, and to convince a part owner of the Ringling Brothers Circus to take the twins on as acrobats. Quick-thinking Val talks her way into opulent first-class accommodations and finds Jamie with a group of fellow Chinese laborers in third class. But in the rigidly stratified world of the luxury liner, Val's ruse can only last so long, and after 2 long years apart, it's unclear if Jamie even wants the life Val proposes. Then, one moonless night in the North Atlantic, the unthinkable happens. The supposedly unsinkable ship is dealt a fatal blow, and Val and her companions suddenly find themselves in a race to survive. This comes out May 4th. Hi, fun fact about me, I love the Titanic. I love anything to do with the Titanic. Absolutely, I adore the movie Titanic. When it came to the Magic Treehouse series, the Titanic one was always my favorite. I just think what happened on the ship is really interesting. I think the conspiracy theories about the ship are also really, really interesting. Overall, I just enjoy stories about the Titanic. From what I've researched, this book is also based on Chinese survivors from the Titanic, and so that is mostly why I want to read it. It's literally just the Titanic stuff. Everything else, the acrobat, the stuff with the twin brother, that's all fine and good. I care about the Titanic. And so that is why I want to read this book. But also, it just cover's gorgeous, obviously. And something about like her sneaking on into first class while her brother's on third class really, really interests me. And once again, I love the Titanic. I want to see if they're going to survive, because this is the Titanic and half of the people who go on the Titanic don't survive. So it's interesting, and that's why I want to read it. Next, Lycanthropy and Other Chronic Illnesses by Kristen O'Neill. Priya worked hard to pursue her pre-med dreams at Stanford, but a diagnosis of chronic Lyme disease during her sophomore year sends her back to her loving but overbearing family in New Jersey and leaves her wondering if she'll ever be able to return to the way things were. Thankfully, she has her online pen pal, Bridget, and the rest of the members of the Oof, Ouch My Bones, a virtual support group that meets on Discord to crack jokes and vent about their own chronic illnesses. When Bridget suddenly goes offline, Priya does something out of character. She steals the family car and drives to Pennsylvania to check on Bridget. Priya isn't sure what to expect, but it isn't the horrifying creature that's shut in the basement. With Bridget nowhere to be found, Priya begins to puzzle together an impossible but obvious truth. The creature might be a werewolf, and the werewolf might be Bridget. As Bridget's unique condition worsens, their friendship will be deepened and challenged in unexpected ways, forcing them to reckon with their own ideas of what it means to be normal. April 27th is the release of that one. This book sounds so funny. First of all, oof, ouch, my bones, as the title of the support group, fucking hilarious. But then just like, hey, we all have different chronic illnesses. You know, mine is Lyme's disease, mine is this, mine is turning into a fucking werewolf. This seems like it's gonna be one of the funniest books I'm gonna read next year, and I cannot wait to get there. Just like, how can you not think this book is gonna be good from the title of Lycanthropy and Other Chronic Illnesses? Like, this is gonna be fucking great. And finally for this video, The Other Side of Perfect by Mariko Turk. Alina was destined to dance, but one terrifying fall shatters her leg and her dreams of a professional ballet career along with it. After a summer healing, translation, eating vast amounts of Cool Ranch Doritos, and binging ballet videos on YouTube, she is forced to trade her pre-professional dance classes for normal high school, where she reluctantly joins the school musical. However, rehearsals offer more than she expected, namely Jude, her annoyingly attractive castmate she just might be falling for. But to move forward, Alina must make peace with her past and face the racism she had grown to accept in the dance industry. She wonders what it means to yearn for ballet, something so beautiful yet so broken. And as broken as she feels, can she ever open her heart to someone else? That comes out on May 11th. As I mentioned in my Sapphic book, I enjoy books about sports. Ballerinas are athletes. I'm sorry if you disagree with me, but ballerinas are athletes. And there's something about, you know, having a dream, like literally putting away things that, you know, are awful, like racism, putting it away because it's your dream and you will do anything to get that, and then having it taken away from you, and like having to figure out what your life is like after this. You know, what are you going to do with your life? How are you going to move on from this? And then going to be like, hey, these things that happened to me are really shitty and I was just pushing it away, but they need to be addressed. That's the reason I want to read this book, because something about that, this book is going to break me. I do not know how I know for a fact, but it's going to break me. I can feel it in my heart and in my soul, and it will be an honor for it to break me, because damn, is this cover great, and I can tell it's going to be a great story. And those are the 10 non-queer books of 2021. Some of these books may have queer themes or queer characters. Just from all of the research I've done, it did not say anything about any queer characters, so that's why they're on this list. I hope that you guys are just as excited about these books as I am. As always, I hope that you guys had a great time with me today. There are links down below to where you can register to vote and check out different social movements that are going on right now. That way you are in the know-how, finding ways to help make the world a better place. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye!
They don't wanna talk, they don't wanna feel the voice in my head saying I don't think I'm. They don't wanna talk, they don't wanna feel the voice in my head saying I don't think I'm real, 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 I don't think I'm. I don't know where my head's been at.